So obviously Hurricane Francine has died down into a tropical storm and now a tropical depression, but the aftermath effects can be dangerous as well. Why is it important for folks to be aware of downed power lines and trees and other debris that may be blocking their area or in the way of roads?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? Because everybody talks about it before the storm, it's after the storm. You never know what lines are going to be live, right? So when you think about it, that exact question that you asked, Colin, you want to stay as far away from those lines that you can. There's no way for a normal consumer or homeowner to be able to tell what's live and what isn't. Always consider it dangerous.
And so when you look at some of the steps that folks are going to take when they see trees around their homes and things of that nature, if they're trying to block away from those and trying to get out, what are some tips for those homeowners? Because it may be like a tree in their yard or maybe power lines around them. What are some tips for those folks?
Yeah, it really comes down to like definitely don't touch it. You definitely want to be careful. I know a lot of people, if you have trees down, out come the chainsaws and you're looking to remove some of the vegetation or something that might have fallen, even if it's fallen on the house, right? The idea is to stay as far away as you can, certainly stay out of the water in case you see a line in the water. But just think like for the most part, it's always energized, it's always dangerous. Stay as far away from them as you can.
And also, when you're talking about hurricane aftermath safety, you're also talking about generator safety as well, especially for folks that have lost power and are trying to keep that power going or at least regain it in the next couple of hours. As far as generator safety goes, what are some of those important tips for folks?
Sure. Some of the easiest ones, a lot of people will employ or deploy a portable generator, right? They're really easy. You can get them quick. Our rule of thumb is always 20 feet away from the house, point the exhaust the other direction. The most dangerous thing you can think about with a portable generator is CO coming in. And it doesn't matter what brand you have, right? They're all going to do that. They're great because they bring you back up quick, but keep them definitely away from the house. If you have a standby generator, right, you want to make sure that hey, you've got that running, that there's constant fuel, both propane and natural gas, and that you're checking the oil from time to time if it's been down for or running for a long period of time.
And so when you look at the generator itself, you may think about getting a carbon monoxide alarm just to make sure that you're at least aware of the situation. Why is that important, more importantly than anything else?
Yeah, the hard thing with carbon monoxide is that you can't smell it, right? You don't know when it's coming in. So that sensor is critical. You're definitely going to want to make sure the windows wherever your generators are closed, right? You don't want to bring it in the garage. But that sensor can let you know that that gas that's poisonous, right? That you can't smell, you can't taste it, that you know that you're safe 100% of the time, and it's not coming into the house from anywhere, whether you can see the opening or not.
And so when you look at the aftermath itself, you talk about generator safety, you talk about down power lines and down trees. What are some of the more important things that maybe folks may not realize that may be helpful in this kind of situation?
Sure. When you are in that type of situation, first of all, I always say make sure you have a plan, right? So you're afterwards now, and even though we're after the storm, still have a plan. Like, no, I should be stopping and thinking, knowing who do I need to contact, right? Where do I have to call? Do I know where my family is? Number one. Number two, think about water and food, right? How long can I stay here? How much do I have? Is my fridge okay? Food, unfortunately, does spoil over a period of time. So if you don't have a generator, if you haven't been able to get it on quick enough, make sure your food is good. But I always think water and communication, those are one and two. And then the third one is how long can I actually stay here? So we were talking a little bit earlier about if I have to leave, right? Make sure I know when I have to leave. If the power is going to be down for a day, 2 days, 3 days, start making that plan so that you and your family have a very clear way in which they know they're going to execute.
All right, are there any final thoughts on the aftermath efforts?
No, we hit on some of the big ones. It's always safety, right? I always say communicate, look out for your neighbors, right? So just because you're safe, reach that arm out, go across the street, right? Look next door. If you have a generator, that's great. Invite them in. But safety is number one. And then number two is always look out for the neighborhood and check your neighbors.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today.